Hey, visit the Boneyard. You might avoid a total re-roof, right, Greg?
Yes.
Got a lot of great supplies there. And now we're going to actually talk about quality paint. What goes into a quality paint and what the difference is with Kris Nielsen. Kris Nielsen Painting. How are you, my friend?
Good morning.
Real quick before we get into that, tell folks about your company.
Okay, we are a locally owned and operated painting company here based in San Diego. I'm an owner-operator, and I've been licensed for over 10 years. We do everything from commercial to residential, interior, and exterior.
All right, you'll do a free estimate.
Free estimates.
You can get 10% off up to $500 if you pick up the phone. Mention the Approved Home Pro Show. The number is 619-500-9699. That's 619-500-9699. And we'll give that number out in a little bit here again. But, Greg, I know you wanted to talk with him about the difference. All paint is not created equal.
Right. Last time you were on the show, and it's great to have you back, we talked about prep and how important that is. Now we want to talk about the products and how important it is to use quality paint, quality caulking, and those sort of things. Can you kind of jump in and explain to us?
Sure. Well, I brought some props here today just to kind of like show you a little bit of information here. And the one thing these all have in common is they are useless unless we are using a premium product. I can have the best tools in the world, but if the paint's garbage, then it's a useless job.
So what makes a good paint and a bad paint?
Yeah. Well, there are ingredients that go into paint that make them premium or low grade. I'll give you 3 examples of what to look for in a good paint. The first one you're going to look for is the volume to solids ratio. That's going to determine how thick the paint is and how well it covers. The second thing you're going to look for in the paint is the resin count. That's going to determine how well it bites down and bonds to the surface and doesn't flake off. The third and most important ingredient in an ultra premium paint is the titanium dioxide. That ingredient is the most expensive raw material that goes into it, and that is going to act as a sunscreen for your paint.
And Clint, you understand all this chemistry, right?
I taught Kris everything he knows.
That's right. As I learned backstage, you were a painter one day too.
Oh yeah, but let me tell you, there's a big difference. You would not hire me. I am Johnny Lunchbox or Chuck in the Truck. This guy, we're talking about real quality right here with Kris Nielsen Painting. Now, I want to say something. The sunblock. So that would be like your skin. It's the skin doesn't get burned with sunblock.
Right. That's
the paint
titanium.
doesn't fade, right? That's the same thing.
Exactly. I just got back from a vacation in Fiji, and I was coated down with titanium dioxide the whole time. It's the same stuff that we put into sunscreen. It goes into paint. It's an expensive ingredient in paint, but it does hold color longer.
So it protects, it's like UV protection for the paint so that it doesn't fade and it lasts longer.
Exactly.
Okay, so we talked about this, and it never really occurred to me, but there's all these different levels of paint. All the manufacturers, they could have 3 to 5 different levels of paint.
Absolutely.
And using a good quality paint on the average paint job, you said, is only a few $100s difference, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, on your average, let's take an exterior home repaint. On the average exterior home repaint, you're looking between 30 to 50 gallons, okay? The price difference between a mid-grade paint or a premium paint on that is the material cost difference is going to be $300 tops. But for that $300, you will get 5 years out of the life of your paint.
That's huge.
It's
so
enormous.
I figured it out. What is that, about $80 a year difference you're paying for a good paint job?
Yeah, it's
a little bit more than that, but
yeah. And the most common misnomer in the painting industry is the consumer will think that because they're using a brand they're familiar with, that equates to a premium product. However, every brand carries low-end and high-end products, so we really want to be educated on what is in the product and what makes it a premium paint.
The key message here is you're not just looking at the brand, you're looking at the tier.
Yes.
Okay, now warranty. I hope I'm not putting you on the spot. What about a warranty?
Well, I use products that offer a manufacturer warranty, which is the most important thing. They offer a lifetime warranty against flaking and peeling. I will offer, on average, a warranty between 5 to 10 years, depending on the product, depending on the job, which far exceeds my competitors.
That's amazing, and we really recommend Kris Nielsen Painting, and you're the professional. That way, you don't have to go to a big box store and try to figure out yourself.
All right, we do have a fan question that we want to get to here. It says, we got quotes to paint our house that varied by 50%. What additional details should we be getting to compare these quotes? That's a lot, isn't it?
Absolutely, and it doesn't surprise me. I get jobs like this all the time. And you may be watching this at home thinking, wow, this guy really knows his stuff. He seems professional. He sounds expensive. Oftentimes I'm cheap. I'm cheaper than the other guys. I'm not usually the cheapest. However, I don't usually fall into the high end. It's contracting. People throw high bids out. What they want to do is educate themselves. Look for a company that's reputable, one that you can trust, one that has a good reputation.
Insurance is so important.
General liability, workman's comp. You can find this all out on the California State License Board through the Department of Consumer Affairs. And that way you can have trust in the company. Then you want to ask them, what products are you using? Not what manufacturer paint are you using, what products are you using? Then learn about the products.
Great information.
Kris Nielsen Painting. Call this number, 619-500-9699. 619-500-9699. Get 10% off up to $500 when you mention the Approved Home Pro Show. And Kris, thanks so much, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.